long-term commitments, actually you should demonstrate, when you're talking that, okay, sir, we can do down the line 6 months like this, down the line 1 year like this, and it should be supported by your past performance. Like a year back, you are told to your boss or your team that, okay, this is how we want to go, and today you are there. What you have committed a year back, you are there, and now you are committing for next 6 months or next 1 year or next 5 years. Then naturally, people will look at your long-term contributions and your commitments, and they will start honoring them. Bad news first. We try to avoid quite a few things when it comes to reporting to the management. We try to avoid delays. We try to avoid mistakes that we have performed, and that is the last thing which manager wants to know. And to avoid uncertainty about your unemployment, you should first start talking about the bad news. It's better to keep people updated that this is what has happened, I'm trying to work on it, but yes, I need some time to cover up this particular thing, and still I will be within my deadline, and I will deliver what is required to be delivered. Let your work be your banner sponsor. Now there is no point in talking. Whatever contributions you have made, that should act as your banner, and that should act as your sponsor. That whatever contributions you have done to the organization in the field of your area, maybe in the productivity improvement, maybe in the process improvement, maybe in the sales volume improvement, maybe in the top line improvement or in the bottom line improvement, wherever you are working, you always have some opportunity to contribute. Like you may be working as a lecturer or you may be working as a teacher also, but still you have an opportunity to contribute by listening with industry. Can you get some good industry speaker who will talk about state of art technology which is happening in that particular industry? So there is something extra, delta x, that you can always contribute, and that delta x will actually act as a banner or sponsor for you in this time of crisis. Have a mentor in organization. Many times we feel to perform solo, but you will find that many organizations or many people who are successful today actually have gone through this mentoring process, and these mentors actually help them to come out with their day-to-day problems and manage or coach them to be successful in the organization. Avoid office politics. This is inevitable. You however you say that there is no politics in our office, it is inevitable. There will be some iota of politics which is going to happen and will be there in every organization. How do we avoid it? You may not be part of it, right? And best way to avoid is your work, rather than getting into politics that इसने ये किया, उसने वो किया, ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, ऐसा उसने किया, मैनेजर से जाके बात किया, वो किया. Don't do that. What you need to do is that whatever task is coming to you, deliver it and try to add your delta X into it. Try to add your knowledge, skills, and efforts into that task, so that that task comes out very effectively and delivers to the performance of the organization. So you do not to get into politics. Your politics should be answered by your deliverables. Develop cross-functional relationship. Now this is something which is very important. You may be working in operations, but if you don't have a relation with the sales team, candid relations with the sales team, or you don't have a candid relations with your marketing team, or you don't have a candid relationship with your distribution team or your supply chain management, then naturally when the topic comes about your deliverables or your career in the discussion forum, right, these people will be silent. They will not talk about you, and your manager only talking about you will not make the case perfect. So what you need to do is you have to work on developing these cross-functional relationships over a period of time. This doesn't happen. Any relationship doesn't happen overnight. You have to invest time, energy, and effort. You may need to, sometimes do something which is not expected out of you to support that particular gentleman. Of course, within the framework of the organization, without breaking the rules of the organization, you have to develop that. And when your topic for promotion or increment or even separation comes for the discussion, people will talk for you, and it's not your manager. The other function owners will also start thinking, नहीं यार ये बंदा जाएगा तो अपने को तकलीफ होगा, so better retain him, let us sacrifice him instead of someone else instead of him. So this kind of discussions do happen at an appropriate level. Being part of HR team, I can definitely and candidly say that the inputs from other businesses or other function owners matters more than your own manager. Your own manager may put up your case, but if other function owners are not supporting his views, then you are having some kind of difficulty. So definitely work on these relationships to develop and nurture and flourish, and that in turn will give you back sometime, right? So definitely the bottom line of this particular slide, if you see, is we are what we repeatedly do. So if I am doing bitching, if I am doing untrust, if I am creating problem for other functions, then definitely people will create problem for me. But if I am helpful, I am supportive, I am cooperative, I am going that extra mile for helping others, then definitely people will also do similar thing for me. So this is what you need to keep in mind. If I want to avoid fat into the organization, if I should not be considered as a fat in the organization, these are the parameters that actually I should start working today, or I should have started working a year back or a 2 year back to avoid current situation. Now, despite you may be a strong performer, you may be a bone of the organization, things will not be able to move without you, but still you may be getting a pink slip. There is a possibility that you will be on the list, separation list, and one day the HR manager may call you and say that, boss, because of certain issues, we have decided to separate you. So reasons for this kind of thing will be like organization is facing challenges, that financial challenges or business challenges, top line is not meeting, bottom line is not meeting, and they have to take certain harsh actions, and that is where you may be star performer, but definitely you're required to be separated. Your cost and contribution do not match. What happens typically, I'm doing same job maybe for last 8-10 years, and because of that I got some expertise, I got a skill set, but I am being given 10%, 5% increment every year, and because of that same job which I was doing at 5 lakh rupees, today I'm doing at 10 lakh rupees, and that's where the contribution is lesser as compared to my cost. So the contribution is not improved, but my cost has gone up, and that becomes one of the reason when it comes to the pink slips. Your skill set has become redundant. The technology has changed, the requirement of the business has changed, requirement of the market has changed, and your skill set has become redundant. Like today people are talking about Python, people are talking about higher end softwares which are available, but I'm still having a skill set of C++ or basic, which I have studied in 95, 96. And there is a need, because some applications my company has developed with those softwares at in ages back, and some customers have not upgraded themselves, and that's why my skill set is required. But today the customer has decided to move on to a newer platform, newer systems, and that's why my skill set has become redundant. Merger and acquisition has took place. Typically when it happens, merger and acquisition, HR, finance, the support functions will take a hit, because there will be some excess manpower which is available in the company which is acquiring your company, or if you are acquiring, there may be good skill set available in the company which is being acquired. So naturally some people from this group and some people from that group will be separated. Company lost account for which you are working. So there can be a possibility that company has lost the account for which you are working. Say in IT companies, typically this happens. There are service accounts, and people lose those accounts for some reason, and then that entire chunk of people, maybe 100, 200, comes on the bench, and they will remain there on the bench for 2-3 months, and then they are separated out. So that can be the reason for you getting a same place. You are not ready to new role, new location, new job within the company. Company may try to accommodate you, but they say that job is not in Pune, it's in Chennai, and you say that I don't want to go to Chennai because I don't like idli dosa. So that becomes adamancy, and in that case company is left with no option. Or they may say that, okay, so long you are working in sales, but right now the option is available in operations, why don't you explore? You may say, no, I am doing sales throughout my life, and I don't want to spoil my career, I don't want to change, get into a new role. Then company will say that, okay boss, since we have optimization happening in the sales team, we left with no option, or we are working on a different sales model. Rather than we selling, we are now going through the distributor way of selling. So naturally so many salespersons are not required, so we need people in operations, we need people in logistics, why don't you shift there? And you say, no, I can't. So naturally company is left with no option but to issue a pink slip to you. So in such situation, the problem is, why me? Why not me? Basically, we should say, try me. So if company says that, Satish, you are working in HR, but now we are working on optimizing HR function, and we have some option in procurement, why don't you look at it? We may say that, boss, I will need some time to get that skill set, but since you are giving me the opportunity, let me explore. Let me go back and explore that particular function. You have two options. One is your job is retained, and parallel you are open in the market for HR job. But at the same time, you get an opportunity because of your performance in HR to move to another function which you can actually explore, and who knows that you may be good at procurement also, or you may be good at operations also, or you may be good at logistics also. We don't know. we never explored. And that's why I always say, you should say that try me. Why me? Why not me? Rather than you say try me. Now with this, I will move to the next thing, that what you can do, what you can do before you get the pink slip. Now I have already told you what are the early signs that you will get for your pink slip. You are getting a pink slip or not, that early sign I already told. Now with that, what you should do, right? Early signs give indications, pick signals and be ready. So when you start getting those kind of signals, mentally start getting prepared that there is something cooking, there is something which is not going to happen right with you, and you need to be ready for that. Start discussing these issues with family and spouse. This is very difficult and very, tiresome job. Convincing family members and spouse about the developments and make them mentally prepared, because you are heading towards a tough time. You are going to get into a discomfort zone because you are having a steady income, and that steady income is going to stop maybe down the line 1 2 months, and you need to gear up for that. Make a contingency plan. Since you are in employment right now, start applying break on your discretionary expenses. Make a contingency plans for 6 to 8 months so that you don't face any financial hardship. Keep your network warm. The moment you start getting those signals, you also start getting into your market, start getting into your network, your well-wishers, your ex-bosses, your people whom you know in the industry, and start interacting with them. Actually speaking, this should be a regular phenomenon. It should not be happening when you are getting a pink slip. As a habit, you should make at least a call to a friend or to a person in your network once in a week, right? May not be the same person, but at least one call in a week to a person who can matter you. That will keep you engaged with your network, and your network is always warm. They know what is happening in your life, and they know, you may be in need of some help at down the line. On the last hour, if you call people, then it becomes a frantic call, and people may start avoiding you. Start working on CV. Check status of job market. This is another important task that you should start working on. Look for alternatives. Your profession may be HR. My profession is HR. I am working in HR operations, but I should look for alternatives. And I always believed in a principle called 70-20-10. 70% of my energy I put in my current skill set, my current job, my current efforts. But 20% efforts I always put in a career that is an alternative career that I want to have. Say I was a lecturer and I can always go back to teaching. So I always interact with the people. I always do some sessions in the colleges. I always, help the teachers in, what is happening in my industry, what can be done, what cannot be done. So I keep on interacting with them. So that's my 20% piece. And 10% is maybe, something which I may be exploring as my third choice in the career. In my case, it is basically Six Sigma, productivity, product related things. And if you look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll find that, I always keep on putting some bits on this particular thing. So this is a 70-20-10 concept which I used in my personal life, that 70% energy I put on my current job, my current skill set, which is required, what is required to be delivered in my job. Remaining 20% time and energy I invest into my second alternative career, and 10% energy I invest in my third alternative career. So I have always kept my alternatives ready. So tomorrow something goes wrong in my HR profession, I'm not getting employed, I can always go back as a visiting faculty and start working as a lecturer in some institutes. But for that, I have to start working today. I have to start building my network today. Similarly, 10% efforts I have to put into my third career, that is a productivity, Six Sigma, those areas, that is training and development efforts in that area. So I put myself in the way of things happening, and they happen. So typically I have to keep on making things happen, and then only things will happen. It will not happen automatically. And that's where your thinking methodology you need to change. That एक job लग गई, एक नौकरी लग गई तो मेरी जिंदगी बन गई, मैं चलता रहूंगा. ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है, because things are changing. Technology is disrupting everywhere. There is a lot of disruptions happening in every field, right? Like I'll tell you, at one point of time, reading CV was a challenge, right? That was like how to read better. You have automated softwares. You have a job description, you have a CV, you match them using softwares, and artificial intelligence softwares are available. So the basic skill which recruiter was having, for sourcing the CVs or scanning the CVs and finding right things in the CV is being automated. So my skill has become redundant. So we need to understand that there is a redundancy getting created. So I have to find out alternative for that. I have to go one step ahead and find out what are the skills which my profession needs. And that's where the 70-20-10 rule comes into picture. Now, all said and done, you're prepared, you are, assuming that you are bone of the system and you are muscle of the organization, and your manager will never ask you to go, your company will never ask you to go. But eventually the day has happened. They called you and they said that, Mr. Satish, now, because of these conditions, we are left with no option but to, do a separation. And we can't help. Thanks for your association with us, and the efforts that you have put in and the contributions that you have made to this organization. But sorry, this is the situation, and the table discussion starts. Now, how do we react on that? The typical reactions I have seen, people get aggressive, because I have done these separations, so I know what happens. So people get aggressive. They start blaming. They start, putting wrong words for the management, for wrong words for the colleagues, wrong words for the, the entire team and the organization. It doesn't help. Let me understand. The decision is already taken. The HR person sitting in front of you is actually communicating the decision. He is party to the decision, but he is not the decision maker. He is basically a communicator between management decision and the employee, right? So what you have to do, or what I as an individual has to do, is I need not to get into panic. मेरा क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, मैं क्या करूंगा, मेरे पास इतना होम लोन है, मेरा बच्चों का स्कूल का फीस इतना है, and I have to pay maintenance for my house, and then I have to buy grocery, I have to buy milk. Everybody has those problems. I mean, I do have, you do have, everybody in this world has that problem. So there is no point in getting into panicky. Just keep yourself cool and calm. Do not show emotional breakdown. People do cry. I agree. We empathize. We wait for that period, that person to come out of that particular issue, right? That mental breakdown, right? It is quite natural, but if possible, avoid it. How you can avoid it? Because you are already prepared. You are mentally prepared yourself. When you have started getting the signals, you can reduce this breakdown phase and get into the realities. Do not get into questioning mode and challenging mode. Why me? This is typical question. Why me? Why not, X person? Why not Y person? उसका तो सैलरी मेरे से ज्यादा है, वो तो मेरे से कम काम करता है, उसका पिछले साल रेटिंग भी बेकार था. There is no point in questioning that. The management has applied certain criteria, and in that criteria you are fitting, and that's why management has taken that particular decision to, separate it. So there is no point in getting into that kind of discussion, because there won't be answers coming, and even if those answers come, they will be lame answers, and the answers which will be justifying their action, they will not satisfy you. Instead of getting into that argument, you can seek clarifications whatever and wherever required. You can always ask them, what is happening is happening. Is it possible for you to reconsider me when things will move? When things will move, right? So you can ask those kind of clarification question. Can I expect down the line 6 months, when the business improved, you considering me for employment? No need to argue on those parameters. No need to badmouth or burn the bridges. See, typically what happens in the fit of anger, in the fit of panicky, in the fit of fear, right? What next? We start bad mouthing the managers, we start bad mouthing the management, we start bad mouthing the organization, we start bad mouthing everybody, and we in turn burn the bridges. That means when I want to come back, I have already closed the doors, because I have already done a lot of damage to myself by using words which I should have not been using. Have clarity on settlement. This is very important, and if possible, request for increase in settlement amount. Typically, organizations do consider this particular fact, and if your notice period is of 1 month, they may say that, okay, we are giving you 2 months, 3 months notice period. You may negotiate with them saying that, was 2 months will not help, I may need an additional month, and this kind of request may get entertained. I don't promise, but there can be a possibility. A good organization will always come out with some additional compensation which is required on a humanitarian ground for the employees, which have served for them maybe 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the time period it may be. Ask for reference and help in outplacement if company is providing same. There can be, some companies may not want you to go to the competition when they are doing well. But today, because of the situation, they may say that, was fine, I didn't allow you to go to competition so long, but now there is an opportunity in the competition. Why don't you try there? I will speak to the HR manager there, or I will speak to the operations manager there, and see to it that you get an employment. There can be some outplacement mechanism which is in place from your organization. Explore that. Check who are the consultants and what are their credentials. Try to be in touch with them and seek help from them. Request for speedier settlement. This helps because when organizations are going through financial turmoil, there is a possibility their priority is to meet the current obligations or current commitment, the salaries of the existing employees, the payments of the vendor of the existing employment. where the settlement might have agreed but may get delayed. So that is where you can request them that, boss, okay, I am going, but please ensure that my settlement happens in a month's time so that I don't face financial hardship. Request for positive reference check. Typically, when there is a separation happening and if there is an employment gap, the next organization will always look for some reference check and request this existing HR team and your operations team or your manager to give that positive. You should emphasize on saying that it is not your fault that you are laid off. It is not your fault that you have been given paying slip. It is primarily because of the organization condition you have been asked to go. Otherwise, you are a good performer. Right? Sometimes the perfect person for you is who you least expected to be. So basically, yes, of situation may you are the only perfect person who can actually expect what to do and how to manage the relationship. See, you don't burn your long association with the organization or your manager, your relationship with the organization, right? For a instance which is happening for 1 hour. Maybe you are working with the organization for 10 years and this 1 hour interaction might burn whatever credentials you have created for last 10 years. So ensure that that doesn't happen with you. Now, after you got the pink slip, the day has happened, you come home and then there are challenges now. The life is, you have to start once again. Now, what are the things that you should do? The first thing is manage your societal drama. In Indian context, if I look at US or European things, there is a difference. There, people think whatever happens with the employee is primarily because of the organization and the employee is good. But in Indian condition, things are slightly different. In Indian condition, people say Indian condition, people say that if you have been asked to go, that means there is some problem with you, not with the company. Of course, mindset has started changing. People have understood the reality that businesses are going up and down, and that's why people have been asked to go, right? So you need to understand that people have asked to go is a normal situation in Indian context also, but it was not maybe 5 years back, 10 years back. People always used to blame the employee. तुमने ही कुछ किया होगा इसलिए तुमको निकाला, वो तो काम कर रहा है, तुम्हारी कंपनी में 10 लोग काम कर रहे, तुमको ही क्यों निकाला? Now that mindset is coming from the workers mechanism or the old industrial environment where manufacturing units, the workers were sacked because they were misbehaving with their managers or misbehaving in the premises. So first you have to manage that societal drama. People will start and start counseling you, start giving you unsolicited advices. नहीं तुमको ऐसा करना चाहिए था, तुमको ये करना चाहिए था, तुमको वो करना चाहिए था. There will be a lot of things which will be happening. You need to keep calm. Don't get angry with them. Don't get in a retaliation mode. Just listen to them. Keep peace of your mind, because what matters in this case, a sound mind is required to come out of this particular thing. Take all family members, spouse in confidence. This is very important. You need to talk to your parents. You need to talk to your spouse. If kids are in a position to understand, talk to them, convince them things have changed and there will be some change in their lifestyle. Most important, listen to them. They may have their own concerns, how we are going to manage. So listen to them. Don't get into angry mode with them. कि नहीं मेरे साथ ये हो गया, तुमको समझता नहीं क्या, तुमको you don't understand what is happening with you. आपको समझता नहीं क्या, आपको वैसा करना चाहिए, वैसा करना चाहिए. Don't get into that discussion. See, you have already created a problem for your peace of mind because of your workplace incidents. Don't bring that to home and create unrest in your family. Listen to them, right? Now you have to keep yourself cool and calm and accept what comes. Don't get into a reactive mode immediately. Have a financial plan in place for next 6 to 8 months, as you never know when next opportunity clicks. Now you are jobless, but your other things don't stop. Your monthly EMIs for car or house or kids education, your society maintenance bills, your grocery bills, your milk bill, vegetable bill, they don't stop, right? So you have to have some contingency plan out of whatever settlement amount you have got and the kitty that you have saved. Don't play with this money. Don't put it into risky investments like shares or mutual funds or something of that sort. Preferably have it in hand and start conserving it to the extent possible. Keep funds handy to meet EMI, premiums, school fees, utilities, etc. Right? Because without that you cannot survive. Right? Avoid frivolous or unplanned expenses. Now, since you got a good kitty, maybe 3-4 months salary in advance, and then your PF has come in, then your gratuity has come in. That means normally, suppose you are getting 100 rupees, suddenly you got 400 rupees. That does not mean that you should spend on picnics and you should get into extravagant expenses, right? Avoid that to the extent possible. Understand the reality that you are an employed person right now, and you have expenses to meet over a period of 6 to 8 months, or till you get the next opportunity. Ensure Mediclaim and insurance premiums are paid, because these are the things which will save you in case you face any medical emergency, and specifically Mediclaim. Many times I have observed that people don't take their personal Mediclaim. They normally rely on company Mediclaim. But the moment you are out of employment, what next? One thing, as a part of your separation package, you can say that you continue my Mediclaim facility maybe till the end of financial year. May not be honored, but you can at least try. Or ask them to give that extension to you and buy the Mediclaim policy immediately. The advantage what you get there is primarily all the past no claims will get into your benefit first, and second, the waiting periods are already waived off because you are working there in the organization for 10 years. That means your policy is in continuation for 10 years. There are certain diseases for there is a waiting period of 4 years, 2 years, 3 years. So all those waiting periods will be over, and you will be able to claim any medical emergency immediately. So look at those options when you are exiting from the organization, and that's where the cool mind is required. Try to invest in self development. This is very important. Now, since you don't have a routine, 8 बजे उठना है, 9 बजे घर से निकलना है, 9:30 बजे ऑफिस पहुंचना है, 6-7 बजे तक काम करना है, 7 बजे घर आना है, फ्रेश होना है, डिनर करना है, then spend time on watching TV or do something. That routine is gone. The entire day is with you, and this is the place, this is the time where you should actually have some routine ready, right? I know every family has its problem, but I admire those that stick together. This is the bottom line of this slide, that how you keep your family and your close well-wishers together during this tough period will matter. And whatever actions from your side, ensure that that action helps to stick the entire family members and your well-wishers to you. And they act as your backbone in supporting you to come out of this particular situation. Then comes what need to be done. Now, one, family front you have tackled. Once you got into the unemployment scenario, the family front you have tackled, you have ensured, and you have created a piece on that front. You have ensured your plan in place, and you don't need to worry about what is going to happen with your family requirements for next 6 to 8 months. Next comes now what to do to get back onto the job, and what exactly actions I should initiate, and what exactly I should do to ensure that I don't get into a wrong foot again. Do not lose confidence, moral and enthusiasm. Typically, these actions start sitting on your confidence. कि यार मैंने तो कुछ किया नहीं था. I was a star performer. I was getting a A rating last year. I was within the first 10% of my organization, and suddenly I have been asked to go. That starts hitting out on your confidence. It starts hitting out on your moral. It starts reducing your enthusiasm. Don't worry, right? That is not the reason why you should be working on it, right? So you need to be not losing your confidence, not losing your enthusiasm. Keep it up where it was and how it was. This too shall pass. This is important. I don't know who has written this word, but we should always keep this in mind. In our good days, yes, these good days are not going to be there, and we may enter into the bad days. And when we get into bad days, we need to understand that we are going to go back into the good days. You may like this to pass, it will pass. It may like kidney stone, and you all know, and those who might have faced the kidney stone, you know how it hurts when the kidney stone is passes, right? So something similar exercise or similar experience you will get when you get into this particular thing. Develop a routine and ensure available time is used in developing new skills and new job search. Now this is very important, developing a routine. You need to understand now you have whole 8 hours of the day for working on your skill set development, and what skill sets are required to be developed, you need to search. Now go for the job posting, see what are the skill sets which are asked for, what are the newer skills that people are asking. Get connected to the old colleague, bosses and HR full. Now this is something which you should do now, but ideally you should be doing it again and again, and time and again. You should not be actually doing it just now because you are laid off, because you have got a pink slip. You should not be getting in touch with them. Otherwise the feeling of people is basically yaar isko abhi zarurat hai to ye hamare paas aa gaya. You should not do that. You should always be in touch with them. And as I said, once in a week, find out half hour to talk to